So what really separates a good designer from a truly senior one? It's not about being a Figma wizard or knowing all the latest UI trends. Nope. It's about understanding the invisible forces that actually drive what people do. It's about having a playbook to turn that deep understanding into products people can't imagine their lives without. So let's open up that playbook and break it down. Let's start with just a number, 69%. What do you think that is? Well, that is the slice of our daily phone use that is completely 100% automatic. It's pure habit. We're not even consciously thinking when we do it. Kind of scary, right? And this leads us to the fundamental challenge that every single product team out there is facing. If your users are basically running on autopilot, how on earth do you design for that? How do you get past just shipping features and start actually shaping the habits that are going to make or break your product's success? And this data right here, it basically reveals the engine behind that autopilot behavior. You see, the top triggers for us to open apps like Instagram, they're not these rational, thought-out decisions. They're emotional cues, environmental cues, a little notification buzz, a moment of boredom, maybe a pang of anxiety. The most successful products, they're not just tools. They are literally woven into the fabric of our subconscious routines. This is exactly why senior product thinkers don't start out by asking, "So, what should we build?" Nah. They start with a much deeper question. Why would someone even act in the first place? They focus on decoding the psychology behind every single click, because that's where truly impactful design really begins. And the absolute key to decoding that psychology is this incredibly simple yet powerful framework from BJ Fogg at Stanford. It's a formula, really. It says that for any behavior to happen, three things have to show up at the exact same moment: motivation, ability, and a prompt. Or, as you see here, B equals MAP. This isn't just some academic theory. This is the operating system behind every single action a user takes. Okay, so let's unpack that a little. The first, and honestly the most important insight here, is that motivation is a trap. Just like it says, it is totally unreliable. It spikes when we're excited, and then it crashes with the slightest bit of frustration. If you design a product that depends on your users always being highly motivated, you are literally designing for failure. But here's the good news. Ability, that is your superpower as a designer. You have almost total control over how easy or how hard something is to do. This right here is where you can make the biggest difference. And this slide, this is the fundamental mindset shift. Junior designers, they try to increase motivation. It's like they're trying to get the user to push a heavier rock up a hill. But senior designers, they obsess over making the rock lighter. Your job isn't to be a motivational speaker for your users. Your job is to be a friction remover. Make the thing you want them to do so effortless that it just becomes the path of least resistance. Okay, so we get the psychology. Cool. But how do you translate that insight into something your engineering team can actually build? Well, that's where we bridge the gap between theory and practice with a little something called the user story. And here's the difference in action. A feature-focused team says, add social sharing buttons. It's a command. But a user-focused team frames it as a story. As a content creator, I want to share my work so that I can grow my audience. You see the difference? The first one is just a solution. The second one is a human need. It anchors the entire team in the why behind what they're building. And to make sure those stories are actually buildable, senior teams use a quality check, kind of a filter, like the invest checklist here. It forces you to ask the hard questions. Is this story actually valuable to the user? Is it small and clear enough for a developer to actually estimate and build? And is it testable so we actually know if we succeeded or not? This simple check turns a fuzzy idea into a concrete, actionable piece of work. But here's a huge, critical warning. Even the most perfectly written user story is still just a hypothesis. That's all it is. It's a really good, educated guess. The single biggest mistake a product team can make is to invest weeks, even months of engineering time to build a guess. You have to test your assumptions before you build. And you do that by climbing this validation pyramid, always starting at the bottom. The rookie mistake is to jump straight to the top and build an expensive MVP. The senior move is to start with the cheapest, fastest test possible, just talking to users. Does this problem even really exist for them? From there, you slowly move up, a simple landing page, a paper prototype. Each step is about buying knowledge and killing risk before you write a single line of code. So let's pull all of this together into a really simple, repeatable playbook. This is the core mindset, the process that takes you from a random idea all the way to real-world impact. And here it is, from idea to impact. Step 1, decode the real underlying motivation using B equals MAP. Step 2, capture that need as user value with clear, actionable stories. And step 3, validate your biggest, scariest assumptions before you even think about building. This isn't just a process, it's a system for making smarter decisions and, frankly, for building products that don't fail. As we wrap up, I really want to leave you with this. These tools for understanding and shaping human behavior, they are incredibly powerful. And with that power comes a huge responsibility to use it ethically, to make sure you're genuinely helping your users, not just manipulating them. So I'm going to end this with a challenge for you. Stop the meetings, stop the endless planning, look at what you're building right now and ask yourself this one question. What is the single riskiest assumption you're making? And then, what is the absolute cheapest, fastest way you can test it tomorrow? Answering that question, that is what senior product design is all about.